Alright everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my preview for Game Week 21 in Fantasy Premier League, as well as giving you a little bit of a recap / review of Game Week 20 as well. We'll see how I did, if I got a green or a red arrow, and what I plan to do for Game Week 21 to try and change things up and maybe improve my rank just that little bit more. But if you guys do enjoy these FPL videos, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below how you're preparing for Game Week 21 as well. I'd love to know. And as always, do subscribe for more FPL content. You can always as well join the league code at the top of the screen. It's never too late to do so if you want to try your luck at beating me in FPL. But with that said, guys, let's get straight into it and see how I did in Game Week 20. So, as some of you were aware, I did use my bench boost in this week and actually took a bit of a -4 hit, unfortunately. A bit of a reactionary thing from me that, we all make mistakes, and then this was one where I made a bit of an error. To be fair, it's a good thing that I used my bench boost in a sense, because I wasn't too far off the average, but was still below it. My rank now stands at 335,996th place. Which, when you're that sort of rank, your rank sort of goes up and down quite drastically. And, even if you're a little bit above the average, you still tend to go down. So, a little bit of a shame there from me. And, it's just typical, isn't it? Obviously, as you guys know, I took out Cancelo as a bit of a reactionary thing, as Pep didn't play him in one of those games in the double game week. So, I therefore brought in Stones. Cancelo scores and gets an assist in this game, so really rubbing the salt in the wounds there for me was FPL. Kufau only getting the 1 point as well, or Sufal I should say. Martinez 1 point, Robertson 2. Stones did get a clean sheet, which is something, but like I said, having Cancelo would have been better. Salah 2 points, Fernandes captain only 2 points. There's no one really that, maybe I could have captained Watkins or Antonio. Even then, it's not that impressive. Ziyech, James, who obviously went to the bench, didn't play, so that kind of is a bit more frustrating. My bench boost as well. Obviously, we didn't realise about Tuchel coming in and who he'd play or how he'd play, so that was a little bit of a grey area. Smith Rowe, Meslier, Mitchell. Guys. Obviously, it's good to have a playing bench, and there was probably no other time I'd use my bench boost. Or to be fair, maybe I would have actually used it this week in hindsight, so God knows what to expect. Pretty down week. We all have them, and hopefully I can just bounce back for the next one. But I'm guessing a lot of you guys have had better weeks than me. I've actually gone down in the BusterBarnes League to 10th place, only gone up in one, which I'm guessing some of my friends had a pretty poor week as well. But if we do go to the main fixtures, a 3-2 game between Palace and West Ham. Antonio, I believe, hitting the bar maybe 2 times, so maybe that's a bit unlucky for me. Leeds beating Newcastle. I think that maybe eventually some Leeds players will be back on the radar, but their form is a little bit up and down at the moment, and they do have some tough fixtures. Arsenal 3-1 over Southampton, a good result for them. Lacazette is still scoring, so interesting. People have a punt on him. Saka as well. I used to obviously have him, got rid of him for the double game week. Maybe he can be on the radar. I'm not too sure about this week though, as they do obviously have Manchester United. Man City battering West Brom, which was just great, wasn't it? 5-0, and Foden does absolutely nothing. Who even knows if Foden's going to play the next game? A little bit of a concern about him, but I do at least have a bit of a playing bench that can cover if he doesn't. If you told me that out of the Chelsea game and the Burnley game, which one would be more exciting, I would have guessed the Chelsea one when they were both on at the same time, but 3-2 Burnley over Villa. I think Burnley were quite lucky. They had about 0.7 XG to Villa's 2.7 or something, so a bit lucky from them. Just some poor goals Villa conceded. On another day they would have won, so that wouldn't worry me too much. Brighton 0, Fulham 0. Everton 1, Leicester 1. I think a lot of people were jumping on Leicester assets, and I still probably would with their run of fixtures. Big shock when Sheffield beat Manchester United. I don't think I'd look into this too much yet. We'd have to see how both of their forms go. I still wouldn't touch any Sheffield United players, but as for Man United, I wouldn't get rid of any just yet, because who knows, they could bounce back quite easily. And Spurs 1 and Liverpool 3. The big thing coming out of this is Harry Kane did get injured, and who knows how long he's out for. I think it could be a week or maybe, I don't actually know. It was an injury to both his ankles, so that's interesting. And players like Mane back on the score sheet. Salah could have probably had a goal as well, controversially ruled out. Alexander-Arnold as well, getting an assist, and a goal as well. So, interesting to see if some more Liverpool assets make themselves available for purchase. But as I said, guys, poor week for me with the -4 especially. I guess you could say that I only got 35 points. So yeah, not the greatest. And yeah, hopefully we can bounce back. And with that said, let's look into what I've done going into game week 21. Okay, so this is my team for game week 21. One change made, and with all of the extra money I've got from selling De Bruyne to Foden and that, if I actually check how much money do I have 3.9 in the bank. I actually did upgrade Smith Rowe, which actually could be some good timing because obviously Martin Ødegaard has come into Arsenal. He might displace Smith Rowe eventually. I've actually brought in Harvey Barnes. A tough decision between him and Maddison, but Barnes is a bit cheaper and maybe has a little bit more goal threat as well. Maddison's scoring a lot of long shots, so will he keep that up? I'm not too sure, but we will see. Actually, vice-captain Barnes, just because of the fixture. Usually against Leeds, it can be a fairly high-scoring game if you've got a decent attack, so I like to think that there should be some goals in there for Leicester. Obviously, though, Vardy's still missing, so maybe that could hinder them. But looking at all of the options, I thought Barnes was the best one to bring on. Obviously, a great surname, as we all know. But with the rest of the team, Martinez still in goal. Preferred him over to Meslier. Obviously, as you guys can see, my bench is fairly strong now because of that way that I did with the double game week. And then the bench boost afterwards. So a little bit maybe of a debate on who I should bring in or not. I was really tempted to just play Adams against Aston Villa at home, but I've opted against it. Could come back to bite me. Like I said, maybe he'll come on for Foden if Foden doesn't play with the Pep roulette. But against Sheffield at home, you'd like to think that maybe Foden will get some minutes. His partner Stones is in defence with Robertson and Reece James. Obviously with Tuchel coming in, it raises a lot of questions about our formation and our players. And to be honest, I don't think anyone really knows what he's going to play against Burnley. I'm not sure if it'll be three at the back. Tuchel is quite obviously known for changing up formations depending on opposition, depending on availability. However, because Reece James didn't play against Wolves, I do think he's going to play this game, as maybe Tuchel will want to, see him get some minutes. So I'm not too worried about him. Someone I'm a bit more worried about is Hakim Ziyech. Couldn't get rid of him this week. Burnley on paper at home is a good fixture, but like I said, who knows if he'll play. Callum Hudson-Odoi played very well in our last fixture, and Pulisic didn't start, so could be a chance that Ziyech misses out, although maybe we'll see Hudson-Odoi at a wing-back again. Honestly, questions galore over Chelsea's lineup against Burnley. I cannot really help you guys out on that, and I'm a Chelsea fan, so that really shows how crazy it is at the moment. Fernandes against Arsenal, because of the form I'm not going to captain him, but he could always get a penalty or something, can't rule that out. Like I said, Foden could do well if he starts. Harvey Barnes, hopefully expecting some big things from him. Salah captain against West Ham. Liverpool, they did well against Spurs. Maybe this is the kick they need to get back into some goal scoring form. Salah obviously didn't score, but maybe he's placed your bet. So he didn't score that game, so maybe he'll score this game. So I've captained him. Maybe a bit of a safe pick, but that's what I've gone for. Watkins against Southampton. Southampton love their high lines, so maybe we can see some running in behind from some Villa players and some goals from an informed Watkins. Antonio against Liverpool at home. To be fair, maybe I could swap him out for Adams, but I don't think I will. Antonio's been on some good form with some good XG. Liverpool's defence, I think Matip got injured again, so they're not with their classic centre-backs, so maybe that's a chance for Antonio to get some goals on the board. So I'm actually fairly happy with my team, happier than I was with it last week. So hopefully, assuming that Ziyech starts, I think that's the main concern I have really with this team. Yeah, Adams isn't a bad person to come off the bench if someone does not play. Soufal could come back to bite me if West Ham players they have been. But yeah, Liverpool at home, you've got to think that maybe they'll score. Obviously, there's still assists in this game though as well. Mitchell against Wolves could be a clean sheet. I don't know. Did Mitchell actually play Palace's last game? I think he probably did. He did. So yeah, not going to lie, looking at my team, I feel like a bench boost in hindsight would have been best used here, but I've used it now, so I've just got to, own that. And yeah, but looking at the fixtures, guys, obviously I like to give you 3 fixtures to focus on going into the next week. Man City v Sheffield United has to be one. They just battered West Brom, and even though Sheffield United are on a bit of form, I do think that the class of Man City will just be enough to throw them. I think another fixture to potentially look at is maybe Everton v Newcastle. Newcastle just not looking up for it, to be honest. They're not looking like the same team. Steve Bruce could be the next manager, have his head on the chopping block. So yeah, maybe some Everton assets like Rodriguez, who's back, Digne, maybe even Calvert-Lewin making a surprise return could be on the cards. And I think the next game I'm going to focus on is Leicester versus Leeds. Obviously, even though there's no Vardy, I think that Harvey Barnes, Maddison, the quality there should be enough for it to maybe be a high-scoring game, or at least I think Leeds' defence will be fairly open. Spurs v Brighton, obviously no Kane, that creates some uncertainty. Chelsea v Burnley, we don't know what the lineup's going to be, and Chelsea still aren't really on form in terms of scoring goals from open play. So, yeah, I think a bit of uncertainty on them means that I wouldn't be focusing on them. I mean, Southampton v Villa could be a high-scoring game, to be fair as well. Quite a few fixtures to look forward to this week. But, yeah, guys, this is my team. Do let me know yours in the comments section down below. Hopefully we can see a green arrow for me and a rise in the ranks. Let me know actually where you guys are ranking overall as well. I would love to know. But with that all said, guys, my review and recap for this game week will be up after it does commence, so stay tuned for that. I do hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.